Hey guys, what I'd like to do today is talk to you about the Squad Tactics class, which is coming up on the 10th to the 13th of September. Basically, it's a 4-day class and it's annual. You don't have to be a member or an alumni, of MVT to show up. Okay. What happens at MVT is we have two strands of classes. We have the live fire classes, which have a sort of a progression, and then we have the force on force classes, which don't necessarily have a progression. And so the squad tactics class, you can show up to that. You don't have to be a squad leader. You can just go through as as a rifleman, and what'll happen is you will learn a lot by being on the class. So, what happens on the class? What we do is it's a 4-day class, and we do some sort of lectures and rehearsals. And the first mission is one that I actually give orders for and then lead that mission. And then after that, we go through a number of missions a day, which it used to be 2 missions a day, and they were fully sort of prepared for and prepped. But what I did last year was I had those 2 missions ready to go, but then I would give a number of other missions during the day depending on the time, and it was like, let's go, all right, let's do this mission. And but the idea is that for every mission, whoever is the squad leader is going to do some form of preparation and getting a set of orders ready. He's going to give a set of orders, he's going to conduct rehearsals, and then he's going to go out and conduct the mission. And so obviously, depending if that's the mission that you were given the night before and you've got all the time in the world and you give the orders in the morning, that's a sort of a longer form mission. If it's one that's like just the next day and you've just completed a mission and I get you aside and I say, hey, build a train model right here, this is the mission I want you to do. And that's also going to be a little bit more sort of informal. Okay. We have a dedicated opposing force, or OP4, and those guys have done this many times and they really know what they're doing. And although these are force on force classes and we do utilize airsoft, which we call airsim, it is not an airsoft game. The opposing force will basically do what we want them to do, and they will respond, and we have somebody running opposing force. And I've actually discovered that of all the various things that we've used to do force on force classes, including UTM ammunition, all that kind of stuff, that the most effective thing to do is to use airsoft, even from the fact that the range of airsoft is pretty long. And what you can actually do with airsoft is you can actually suppress a position, because you can watch the BBs go flying in and suppress the position. And that was something that even when we used UTM ammunition, we weren't really able to achieve, because you can't see the UTM. And the UTM would always fall short. So you're trying as a squad, as part of your mission, to suppress that enemy position, to conduct the break-in battle, to get a foothold in enemy position, to allow the squad leader to fight his squad through that position. You're trying to do all those things, but what you can't do is, if you can't get the position suppressed because you've got no idea where your rounds are going, then it makes it very hard. So airsoft is actually, a really effective situation for that. And we used to do gas guns, and now we allow electric guns. We do have some loaners if you just don't have that kind of equipment. But, however, I would suggest that getting hold of airsoft equipment for your own use is very useful, because you can train at home and do all kinds of things and not worry about the safety. If you were to get out and, you and a friend or you and your kids or whatever, and do fire maneuver, fire movement, breaking contact, that kind of thing, you can do that not only on an area where you don't have to worry about backstops, but also on an area where in a situation where you don't have to worry about safety, because It's airsoft, okay? You're not firing live rounds. So it's actually a very useful training methodology. So Squad Tactics is an annual class. As I say, it's kind of like a big deal. We kind of like to get the class filled up. We like to get the Op4 in. You'll run multiple missions on various things. You'll do just like enemy bases out in the woods with little sort of bunker fighting positions. You'll attack the CQB huts, attack and clear the CQB huts. You might even have a hostage mission there. You'll attack the trench system, the strong point system, and you know, so you're going to do a lot of missions. You're going to learn a lot, because not only do we do sort of initial sort of rehearsals of like generally how things work before we go out on the first mission, which is run by myself, but every mission is going to have some kind of rehearsals as part of it. So you're going to consistently go through how to conduct yourselves, and then you're going to be doing that on the missions themselves. And then, so you're going to basically get a lot of repetition. And so even if you came here and you're not, you know, sort of fully tactically up to speed, you will be by the time you leave. You don't have to be a squad leader. You don't have to be a team leader. You can run through as a rifleman. There's so much about the Squad Tactics class that I just love as an instructor. It's so valuable. It used to be called the Combat Leader class. It used to be 8 days, and then we shortened it. We call it the Squad Leader class, and we made it 4 days. And we've been evolving it. And this year, you know, we're going to have those additional missions per day. And basically what you do is that when you go out in the morning, you basically take everything you need. You get resupply, but you take everything you need. You take your lunch, your resupply of BBs, all that kind of stuff. And you go out and you do a mission, and then you plan and you roll the next mission, and you plan and roll the next mission. And you get debriefed, and you are going to learn a huge amount. All right, so I look forward to seeing you on the Squad Tactics class in September 10th to 13th, and it's well worth signing up for. All right, guys, I'll catch you later.